Well, I'm starting to prep the xj8 for painting. This is going to be more of an experimental job. I'm going to just use a Rattle Can to paint it and see how well it comes up. So I've sanded it right back, not to bare metal, just taken the clear coat off it and put a slight primer filler on it. I'll let that dry for a bit. I'll put a little bit more on. I'll sand it back with 400 and then we can just see if we can just blend in this paint to give it a better look than it did before. It's not going to be perfect. I'm a painter's bumhole, but let's see how we go by the time we finish it. So I'll get a bit more work done on it. Just doing from a spray can, you don't have to really do all the masking up because you can keep it fairly refined to where you want it to go. Okay, so I've got the primer surface on. We'll just sand that back down with a 400 grit wet and dry and see if we can get some colour on it. Keeping in mind this is still in its raw stage. Well, there's a start. 2 cans went on that, as I would have expected, so 3 will need to go on the roof. I sanded it back with wet and dry 2000 just to get some orange peel out of it. There is anomalies in it, minor ones. It still needs another buff and maybe perhaps another sand, but it's all right. It's 10 times better than what it was, and it really, you know, if anyone wants to do it properly, they can do it properly later. So we're going to get this roof going, but it's a bit of labour. It's labour intensive sanding that back. That took me hours to sand back to get it right, but wait till I get it fully buffed up and all looking good, and then we can put a coat of clear over it and it'll look a lot better than what it's looking now. Okay, we've masked the old girl up and we've sanded back all the clear coat bad stuff back to the original paint, and we're just going to put a thin coat of spray putty over it just to fill any anomalies that we may not have sanded out. So we'll do the whole, and I want to keep it all the same colour, so the whole lot will have to be grey so we don't get any colour deflections when we put our colour on. So we'll cover the rest of this and let it dry. Okay, nicely primed up. We'll wait for that to dry. Pretty much all it is a coat of primer filler on the original top coat, and then we put a little bit of spray putty over the top just to fill any further little anomalies that we might have. We'll need at least a day for that to dry properly before I sand it back, but you never know, it might work okay. I'm actually pretty happy with that. That's 3 cans. Obviously it's got to be sanded back and with some wet and dry 1000, 2000 and clear coat put over the top. But there's very few anomalies in it. Yeah, I'm going to be very happy with that. It seems to be a pretty easy colour to match. I'm surprised. But yeah, it's all right. Base coat on and we've given it a buff. I'm just going to clean it with some non-silicon polish before I put the clear coat on, just to clean out any little buff marks and little scratches and get off any more silicon that possibly could still be on it before we do the clear coat. I haven't used this one before. I normally use T-cut, but you can't get it, and I would prefer it if it was in a black colour so it doesn't show up as bad. But this should do the job nicely. Just clean up that final surface. It'll take a bit of paint off because we haven't got the clear on yet. That's not a problem. And get this paint nice and clean. It smells like those menthol cigarettes you used to get as kids. You know the ones I'm talking about? Those lolly cigarettes. Okay, get the other side done. Cute bottle. Okay, that's the finished result before the clear coat goes on. I still have to clean up the rubbers a little bit. It was a real bitch because that masking tape I used must have been fucking old. And it just wouldn't come off really easy. Even though it was on there probably for a month. I know if it stays on there for more than that it can be bad, but it should have come off easy, but it didn't. But no big dramas, not too many anomalies. It's hard to get a really even finish when you've got to use those small spray cans. They don't flow out well enough to do a perfect job, but I'm okay with it. Well, it's been 2 days since I finished that last clip buffing that car, and it's been raining cats and dogs ever since. So I'm not going to be able to get the clear coat on for a while now. There's just too much moisture in the air and the conditions aren't right. I can't get outside at all. So I washed the car today, but what I thought I have to finish off this video now. So what I thought I'd just go through all the items that I've used to do this little job. Now, I keep telling you I'm a spray painter's backside, which I am. I've been doing this sort of self-taught stuff for years and years and years, but never good at it. And perhaps I should have used not these spray cans, but I've got a lot of spray equipment up at the Jag Cave. I could have painted up there. Would have been in a better environment to do it, but there's no real room up there at the moment, and I wanted to get it done. I want to move this car and get it out of the way. So I'll just show you all the items that I use. First of all, I probably should have used new masking tape, not old shit, because that just stuck to everything wouldn't come off. Good quality cutting compound, a nice flat sander. If you don't have a good sander, the actual ends of the wet and dry can actually cut the paint while you're actually trying to sand it back. To start off with, get it right down, finish it off before you paint at 400. A lot of guys will say they probably want a little bit lighter than that, but 400, I find 400 is all right to put the paint over. And I'm only using these ones because you can't get a real luster on this stuff. And you get a bit of orange peel, it just doesn't come out strong enough. So you really have to cut it back with 1200 or 1000. And if you still find this might be a little bit too scratchy, do it with a 2000. And then you can clean it off with the non-silicon polish after that. While you're going through all your painting and etc., ensure that you this is the best stuff, just spray to make sure you've always got a clean surface. And to get the crap off the from the masking tape, use this orange bloody stuff. Primer surfaces, spray putty if you've sanded back too much and you think you've got a bit of an indent in the paint and you want to clear that up. Acetone for cleaning up, don't get that on the paint though. You can put it on your metal surfaces or rubber, but don't get it on your paint. Clean rags, thousands of clean rags, you'll be using them like in abundance. And eyewear, which I didn't use. Alright guys, thanks very much for watching. If you liked the video, just give it a thumbs up, it really helps my algorithms. And if you haven't subscribed, you can do that too. And if you want to leave a comment and tell me how much of a shithouse painter I am, that's okay, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.